lines in your hand. You got a lifeline that goes around your thumb, and a headline, which is your head and your spine line. It's an indication of how smart you are and what your spine looks like. And then your heart line coming up here between your fingers. But up the middle of your hand is your fate line. Now on your left hand, the fate line tells you about your intimate relationships, your marriages, relationships, if you're living with somebody. Every time that breaks, it's a change in a relationship. And then your left hand is your past and your inherited characteristics, and your right hand is your present and your future. So we're going to read a couple of things on your left hand, and then we'll move over to your right hand and read mostly on your right hand. Let's go down your lifeline here. It's got a little break in it. Sometimes when that gets a break, it's a little asthma mark. That's an indication of your pulmonary system, your breathing. So sometimes you'll get a little break, and that means you got some problem up in your upper back or upper chest area that's causing you not to breathe very good. And then your headline here and your heart line. When that heart line comes up between the fingers, you're a first child or last spoiled child. But each little line here is generally a sibling in your family. And I think your line is maybe right here. Are you the third child down? Are you the first child in the family? Which one are you?
I'm second to last.
You're second. How many are there?
Well,
1,
there's
2,
9.
3, 4. Ooh! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you're number 8, aren't you? Okay. So some of those siblings, if they're a lot older than you, they won't show on your hand very good. So this is your heart line, Lynn. Usually if you're a first child, that line will come clear between your fingers, which is a spoiled line. Okay. You got injuries that show in this left hand only. Anytime you get the little islands in the hand, like this right here, when you get a little island in your hand, it's a break in the energy of that line. So that indicates that you've had some injuries. Here's an injury when you're maybe 9 years old. Here's about 13 and a half. And I'll go up the line here. There's a timeline on your hands. Every 1/8 of an inch is about a year. So starting here is about 10 years old on the side of your hand. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is right here. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 has to be right straight down from the inside of that finger. See, I've just hit that right smack on the mark. So going along your line, how old are you now?
27.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. This is how old you are right now in your life. So the break comes after that. It means that doesn't mean you're going to have a big wreck or anything. It's just an asthma mark. So don't worry about that. Like I say, the islands here indicate injuries. And then lines on the inside of the lifeline like this, those are your guardian angel lines. They will come down and they will touch on your lifeline where there's a line that goes across the lifeline. And I'll find 3 points that come together. So here's a guardian angel line coming right in here at about 18 years old. Can you tell us who that was?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother. Your grandmother's a guardian angel to you. Your male guardian angels will sit off to your right. Your female will sit off to your left. And yours is quite a long line going there. It's quite distinct. Oh, I don't know. It kind of poops out here when you're about 40 years old. But then you'll get other guardian angel lines. You've got another one coming in right here. Where is the line that goes across on that one? Right here. Let's see, 10, that's 15, 16. That must be about maybe 14 or 15. You would have had somebody that died, somebody that was close to you, a relative, grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, cousin, friends in the family.
I had a friend commit suicide, actually.
At 15? Mm-hmm. Guardian angel to you again. So, and that's a really good line. That's this one right here. See how it comes right there?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the grandma line coming right here. Okay, we won't do any more guardian angel lines. We're going to skip over to the right hand. The shape of your palm is really important. You look at the shape of the palm. You can have maybe a square palm, which is quite athletic, or a round palm, very artistic. You see color and proportion, things that fit together well. Or if it's a very long palm in proportion to your fingers, it's generally the philosophical hand, and you have a tendency to overanalyze everything. You know some people that do that. And then a hand that has two markings in it, kind of a round hand. Sometimes you'll have the roundness here, and a little bit square at the top. That's a musician's hand. So you look at the palms. Now, see, you've got a fairly round hand, don't you? So possibly you have the mark of kind of a musician. Whatever you do, you decorate your house well. You wear clothes that match. You like things that look good aesthetically. Then the length of your fingers are your talents. Every single person has talents. Nobody gets out of this life without talents. God put you down here with special talents. So if you have long fingers, it's going to show the long tendencies. And then if you have short fingers, it'll show the short tendencies. And the finger, how you measure that is the finger next to it needs to measure up to halfway on the joint on the finger next to it. So this one would have to be halfway up to this finger. This one, the middle one, you measure the length of your palm to see if that's long or short. This one needs to be halfway up on this finger, halfway up the joint. But the little tiny finger needs to come up to this ring right here on the ring finger. The thumb, again, that needs to come up to about half on this joint on the index finger. So, the fingertips are your personality. So, pointy fingertip people like fine things. They're very sensitive, diplomatic, but they're always collectors. So if you've got all 5 or 10 fingers that are pointy, kind of like a witch's fingers, you are a collector. And then square fingertips, practical, orderly, kind of stubborn. And you know who I see the square fingertips on a lot is on these 2 fingers right here. Generally men have the square fingertips, and usually cowboys have really square fingertips. A little stubborn. Macho, stubborn. Spatulate fingertips. They're wider at the end than they are in the finger part. You've got a little tiny bit of a spatulate finger right here. Spatulate fingers are intense people, dramatic, energetic, adventuresome. Usually your actors and actresses have the really spatulate fingertips. One of the actresses that has really square spatulate fingertips is Megan Fox. Russell Crowe has spatulate fingertips. Jay Leno. The round fingertips, like you have mostly in your round, well, that's a pointy finger. Mostly round fingertips. Intuitive, quick, compassionate. You generally belong in the health field when you've got the round fingertips. So you're kind of a caretaker person. So your fingertips are your personality. The shape of your palm is your talents. And then the length of your fingers is also your talents. And then we'll get down to the lines here when we get down into the part of the palm. The thumb, I always have my little measuring thing here. The thumb needs to come up to about, don't squish it over there, let it sit just natural. Needs to come up, now see, you've got kind of a short thumb. When you have a short thumb, you generally work well with numbers. I see a lot of short thumbs on the Asian people. I can't think of anybody else as a culture has really short thumbs. But short thumb people work well with numbers. Usually I see that on the accountants, people that have to sit at their desk and do a lot of paperwork. But a long thumb, if you have a long thumb, those people do well in life because they have good manual dexterity.